In 2018 I flew with Jet2 twice and had mixed feelings about my trips. Well, fast forward to 2019 and I'm flying to the south of Spain to get married, and yes, you guessed it, I'm flying with Jet2 once again. Now, Jet2 have been awarded top 10 status in the 2019 TripAdvisor Awards, so I'm expecting a lot. Before we get to the flight though, let's check out Birmingham Airport. Welcome to Edgington Airborne.
Let's get married.
Let's get going. So here we are once again at Birmingham Airport, and unlike usual I have luggage. It wasn't hard to find the check-in and bag drop desk for Jet2, and once I was relieved of my case I headed to departures. Birmingham Airport is gearing up for the busy summer season, and there's a range of shops and restaurants available to passengers. The terminal's recently added some new additions, including a new food outlet from popular high street brand M&S. For families, there's also a refreshed play area near the departure gates, which supposedly is not suitable for someone my age. So instead, I spent my time admiring the aircraft. So that's Birmingham Airport. I come through here quite a lot, but one thing I'd say is I'm very surprised at how quiet it is today. Particularly on a bank holiday weekend, I thought there'd be many more passengers than I've seen. Anyway, let's head over to the aircraft and make our way to Malaga. As I said at the start of the video, this is not my first time on Jet2, and as with my previous flights, this route is operated by the Boeing 737-800, which is the backbone of the fleet, and Jet2 operate over 60 of these aircraft. The airline also operates the smaller 737-300, 757-200, and also leases the Airbus A330 from Air Tanker, who, if you didn't know, also have contracts with the Royal Air Force. But today's trip is definitely not a military flight, so let's take a look at the Jet2 experience. Starting with the booking process, and Jet2 operate up to 2 daily flights to Malaga from Birmingham, and as you may expect, fares vary depending on when you intend to fly. My quick search revealed flights from as low as £35, but this can rise considerably. Bear in mind that the low fare will not include items such as luggage or seat selection, and you could easily double your ticket by adding some of the many items offered before payment. But enough about the booking process, let's take a look at this particular flight, starting with the cabin, and this 737 can carry up to 189 passengers in an all-economy layout. The cabin's not what you call subtle, with plenty of Jet2 branding and bright red colours throughout. There were some reminders that this aircraft is about 19 years old in the overhead panels, and interestingly there were no window shades fitted. The toilets were kept very clean during flight, and of course, this being Jet2, you had company in there as well. We're now over the Bay of Biscay, about halfway into the flight. Let's take this time now to have a look around the seat that you could find on the Jet2 737. Online seat selection is available in booking with Jet2, and you can pay a little bit more to reserve an extra legroom seat either at the front of the cabin or at the overwing exits. Now this Jet2 seat has its good and bad points in my opinion. We'll start at the top, and the literature pocket is where you'll find your safety card, in-flight menu and the in-flight magazines that we'll look at in a couple of minutes. To the right of the literature pocket is a small cup holder, which is a useful idea and it's very necessary, as you'll see shortly. As we lower the tray table, you'll notice that like so many modern aircraft, the magazine storage is exposed, offering no space for personal items when they're in place. And the tray table itself, well, it's frankly tiny. There's not very much room on here at all, it's not adjustable, but it does come with a small cup holder. However, the placement of this is a little bit awkward in my opinion. Now towards the bottom of the seat you'd ordinarily find a seat pocket, but there's nothing there, so storage is a big issue on board this Jet2 aircraft, hence the additional cup holder I assume. A great benefit of this seat though is the legroom, and for me it's one of the most generous economy class seats that I've found on a low cost carrier. For an idea on how small the tray table is, this is an A4 folder to give you a comparison. As you see, there's not much space at all. However, I did enjoy the comfort provided by the seat, and I also like the overall design too. As a low-cost airline, it's no surprise that food and drink on board Jet2 is not complimentary. The menu provides a good selection of items for sale, and purely for research purposes, I decided to purchase some items from the menu. The pulled pork panini wasn't quite as tasty as the picture suggested, but overall the value for money wasn't too bad at all. As no in-flight entertainment was provided on board, I spent some time reading the Jetaway magazine. Now whether you agree or not, there is no denying that Jet2 is a successful airline, and some of their achievements were listed on the inside cover. The route network is always a personal favourite section of mine as I plan my future trips, and there was also a nice explanation of turbulence for nervous passengers. Sadly, the puzzle section had already been attempted by a previous passenger. Trust me when I say my handwriting is much neater. If you are new to this channel, don't forget that as well as subscribing, you can get the latest updates and follow my trips as they happen via social media. You can now also support the channel directly via my Patreon page for even better access. We've started our descent towards Malaga now. Don't forget to stick around until the end of the video for my final thoughts on today's trip, but for now, enjoy the views. And that's it. Welcome to Spain after that flight with Jet2. Hope you've enjoyed the video so far. Of course, now is the time that I'll share with you my final feelings on today's experience, and we'll kick it off in Birmingham. I was really surprised at how quiet Birmingham Airport was. It was a bank holiday weekend in the UK, so I expected massive crowds, but as you've just seen, that just wasn't the case at all. There's also a new addition to the departure lounge in Birmingham, as you'll notice in the video, and that's the Marks & Spencer food area, which is a big plus in my book. Probably it'll be my go-to choice if I want to grab a snack before my flight from now on, so do try it yourself. And then we come to the flight. Now, the aircraft, as you've just seen, it was showing its age in some places, the aircraft being about 19 years old. Had a bit of a retro feel and a little bit dirty and worn in some areas as well, so that's a bit of a negative. It could have been in slightly better condition. The seat itself was incredibly comfortable, certainly one of the best that I've experienced in quite a long time, and against other charter airlines or low fares carriers, it's probably number one for me. I really had a great, comfortable flight, and the legroom was phenomenal. But the seat did have some issues for me as well. One of those being the fact that the tray table, unless you're using it just for a drink or a snack, it's next to useless. You can't fit an A4 piece of paper on there. You certainly can't fit a laptop on there either. So for a longer flight, that's something to consider. And also the lack of storage at the seat is a big negative for me as well. There's just nowhere to put your personal items other than under the seat in front of you or in the overhead locker, similar to Ryanair in that respect. One other thing I'd like to mention as well is in the pre-departure message that the crew read out, they mentioned obviously for safety reasons have your window blinds open, except this aircraft for some reason didn't have any, and unlike the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, you certainly couldn't dim them. So again, the aircraft itself just showed its age. The crew were very good today. They were very professional and very efficient. There wasn't really much time throughout the flight they weren't present in the cabin, so a big thumbs up to them, and in particular the pilots as well. I found their announcements today really informative and enthusiastic. When you consider many people don't fly often, this may be their only flight of the year, that's a big positive as well. So overall, what did I think of Jet2? Well, I did actually really enjoy this flight, and in my comparison video a few months ago, I put them behind Thomas Cook in the rankings, but if I'm being personal and giving my honest opinion about it, I'd have to say they're probably now my favourite, but they do still leave me more questions and answers because they've been awarded a top 10 place in the 2019 TripAdvisor Awards and also awarded Best Airline in Europe. And if I'm being honest, they're not the best airline in Europe. They're probably one of the best low-cost airlines out there, absolutely. But I do think these awards maybe not as accurate as they should be. But that's just my opinion, and your opinion may differ. And if that's the case, do let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a future review. And most of all, take care.